Fred Kerley is arguably the most talented sprinter in all of track and field right now. He is one of only 3 men in history to break the 10-second barrier in the 100-meter dash, the 20-second barrier in the 200-meter dash, and the 44-second barrier in the 400-meter dash. And he's the only one on that list who won a medal in Paris at the Olympics in 2024. But unfortunately, that is not what I'm here to talk about. Because Anderson Emerald of the Final Leg sent me a text with some information in it about Fred Kerley. And long story short, he just got arrested in Miami Beach. And no, I am not going to show you the footage, even though you can find it out there online if you really want to. I don't think that would be fair to him. And we don't have a whole lot of details about what happened, but I'll give you the bullet points here. There appears to have been an ongoing police investigation where Fred Kerley's vehicle happened to be parked, which I personally understand because it had happened to me on 2 occasions where a car that I was trying to get to was somehow involved in or around a police investigation. Regardless, something went down between him and the cops, and at the end of it, he got charged with battery. He actually got tased, and that's on footage. Once again, I'm not showing you. I have no intentions on being political, so I'm not going to head down that path. But obviously, it is not a really good look for any athlete to get arrested. But that is besides the point. Because if you look at the comments, once again, I'm not going to show you the footage right now. Around this whole arresting of Fred Kerley, it doesn't appear very clear that most people even knew Fred Kerley was the one being arrested. And that brings up a different conversation because Fred Kerley is likely going to be back on the track even after this incident later in the season. So that's not what we need to focus on. But in Miami, last year, Tyreek Hill of the NFL, who is also an athlete, also got arrested in Miami. The difference is, the cops knew who they were arresting when it happened. Considering the Fred Kerley situation was pretty public, it doesn't appear that either the cops or anybody who was watching on a pretty populated street knew that Fred Kerley was an Olympic sprinter. So regardless of how the police handled everything, which is not what I'm here to talk about, I do need to point out that nobody really knows who track and field athletes are, even when you have an Olympic medal to your name. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. If you go all the way back to the Noah Lyles NBA controversy, which has actually gone for a while now, but I'm talking about the beginning of it, the comments that he made in a World Championship press conference were a part of a larger speech that he gave about his status within the sport. Noah Lyles was saying at that time, because he was asked, like, how do you think things are going to go now that you completed the sprint triple when you get back to America? And he's like, I'm going to get in my car and drive home. What do you think? Because track and field athletes in America are not superstars. It's kind of the reason why Noah Lyles is probably the king of self-promotion in this present day of track and field. Everything from his own YouTube channel, and now he has his own podcast, collaborations with Mr. Beast, I Show Speed, and everybody else. People who have incredibly large followings that he is, for the most part, able to piggyback off of while he's building his brand. But remember, he is building his brand, and hopefully, his words not mine, he can bring the sport with him. But from all of the data that I'm gathering, that is not really a safe bet. Because to be honest with you, the biggest track and field athletes that we have right now, once again thinking about the American context, for the most part, aren't just big because they win. They may win enough to get them on a stage, but then they have to create a brand that goes way beyond that. Because you can't just make a bunch of money or even get seen for just being good at track and field. I just finished shooting an episode of The Finish Line where we talked about Tara Davis Woodhall, who is a long jumper. But she has over 1 million followers on multiple platforms. And the real question is how much of that is based on her being an Olympic gold medalist. And the truth is, not a whole lot of it. I'm not complaining, it just is what it is. Even people in the comment section on my video admitted that they are fans of her, and her husband for that matter, for reasons that aren't all that connected to track and field. In other words, they're not really following the sport, even though they're following her. Fred Kerley, on the other hand, is a track and field athlete who has made it very clear in interviews, even when he was talking on Sprint, that he's not that interested in trying to be more than a track and field athlete. He just wants to come in, win competitions, and then go home. He doesn't do much self-promotion, so whenever he actually does speak, I am inclined to listen, because we don't hear his voice that much. All that being said, leaving the situation alone that just went down, the fact that nobody, like what I can tell, almost nobody, either in the comments or live while it was happening, and of course not even the cops, were even aware whom they were arresting. The fact of the matter is, at this present moment, at least in America, track and field is nowhere near the public eye. When Noah Lyles does a collaboration with IShowSpeed and Mr. Beast, he is the unknown in that collaboration, because the other two men have millions of followers who pay attention to them and could care less about track and field. Noah Lyles is the only on that platform because he's won so much in track and field. He had to win, and win again before they would even notice him. And like I said before, beyond just winning, he has put a lot of energy into promoting himself along the way. Every pro track and field athlete doesn't necessarily need to be famous, and I definitely don't want to see situations like what Fred Kerley is going through right now, and I'm wishing him the best as everything plays out. But now that the Olympics are over, and we are in a new year, it is abundantly clear that nobody cares about track and field right now in the public eye. We had our 15 minutes of fame. It actually lasted for about 2 weeks, and some of our greatest athletes came back with medals from the games, including Fred Kerley. But that was then, and this is now. And track and field athletes in this moment are just random people who you might see on the street. They also just happen to be the fastest people in the world, even if nobody's really paying attention, at least for the next 3 years, until we get to LA in 2028. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop, or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.